Well, the Chicago Bulls sure know how to make it interesting. Despite a double-digit lead at the end of the first half, the Chicago Bulls allowed the Timberwolves to come back to make it a close win. The Bulls still hold out for an 8-point victory. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, have some fun. It's only we can do. But first, we got to play the winning intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
All right, Bulls fans, the Chicago Bulls, man, they know how to make it interesting, bro. They know how to stress us the hell out, don't they? It's never a dull day. Even in a win, it's never a dull day. It's just we can never just outright just win a game and just go to hell home right off into the sunset. It can never be simple and straightforward for the Chicago Bulls. But luckily, DeMar DeRozan really stepped up big. Alex Caruso hit a big shot in the fourth quarter of the game because we needed all of it. We allowed the Minnesota Timberwolves to get back in the game, as the Bulls have done. They gave up, they lost the third quarter by 5 points, ended up winning the fourth quarter by 3 points, which is the key there. But this was one of those games where it reminds you that why the Bulls do have DeMar DeRozan there. Now, we'll talk about, how that inflates wins or not for the Chicago Bulls later, but we're here to break down a win today. We needed the way that DeMar DeRozan played in this game. Him and Kobe White in the fourth quarter of this game. When you look at it, DeMar DeRozan goes 4 of 10 for 9 points in the fourth quarter. Kobe White goes 3 of 5 in the fourth quarter as well for 8 points, and they really helped lead the way. Alex Caruso hits a big shot for his 3 points in the fourth quarter as well, and we needed every single one of them. The Bulls continually make these games more interesting than we want them to be down the stretch of a game, but guess what? They got the dub, and that's the most important thing here. Out-rebounding the Minnesota Timberwolves 43-37 in this game, which is a big thing. 30 assists for the Chicago Bulls in this game on 42 made baskets. Really good there. The Bulls shoot the ball 52% from the field in this game and 58% from three-point range. The Bulls went 17 of 29 in this game from three-point range. A lot of that coming from the 7 of 8 that Alex Caruso went from three-point range in this game. You're going to need players to step up. And Alex Caruso did that in a major way for the Chicago Bulls, as he has over the course of this season. The Bulls do end up losing the points in the paint battle 48-38. It is what it is there. We won the fast break battle 19-7. We talked about how if you're not going to be a team that's going to defend the three ball well, you need to be able to hit your own shots and get out in transition where you can. The Bulls did that. 10 turnovers in the first half for the Chicago Bulls. They end up finishing with 16. Don't really get a full reign on that. So that is what it is. But the Bulls still won the points off turnover battle 21-17, which is a very big, margin there. You want to make sure you win that where you can as well in this game. So, it's good that the Bulls were able to still pull it out and win. Right? I don't want to, overlook that at all. Nikola Vucevic made some very stupid mistakes down the stretch of this game, man. Overall played well. He went 8 of 16 from the field, 2 of 6 from three-point range, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 19 points. But God knows that man made some decisions down the stretch of this game that I was just ready to get his ass out of there. Andre Drummond goes scores 6 points, 9 rebounds in this game. Kobe White, 6 of 10, 60% shooting from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 17 points from Kobe White in this game. Maybe a sign that shooting is going to start coming back around. 21 points from Alex Caruso. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals from Alex Caruso in this game. 13 points from Ayo Dosunmu, who went 5 of 9 from the field as well. And then I already talked about Andre Drummond off the bench. That's really the biggest performer. The Bulls only had 12 points in total off the bench in today's game. 3 coming from Torrey Craig, 3 from Javonte Green. No OB in this game. No Javon Carter in this game. Dalen Terry did play 11 minutes. He registered a rebound and an assist and a block in this game. But that's really it. And so I think we're starting to see what Billy Donovan's rotation may be for the remaining now 7 games of the season. And we'll see what that does for the Chicago Bulls as well. But most importantly, like I said, more important than anything that we're talking about right now, the Bulls got the dub. That is the most important thing. I'm glad that they got the dub. We needed it. We now can add another game over the Atlanta Hawks in our rush towards trying to secure that ninth seed. But we got contributions where it was needed, and that's the biggest thing. The Bulls now 3 games below 500 with 8 games left to play. Let's see what they got left in the tank. And yeah, we'll be locked in and see what they do, man. But hey, let's go ahead and get into your guys' comments here. You guys are feeling about tonight's game. D Trip, the dyslexia is a motherfucker. Says C Red, gotta have you in the building, bro. Joe says Caruso knocking down threes with that much tape on his fingers is legendary. And his hand was bleeding at one point. Crazy. The MF and Bulls, they can beat the Timberwolves twice, but lose to the damn Nets, Pistons, and Wizards. It's been an interesting season, Sydney. It's been a really interesting season. Kobe played a lot of off ball tonight, and I think that relieved stress on him scoring and shot 60%. Kobe's back. I can't say that Kobe's back yet. I can't say that. He had a really good game. Can't say Kobe's back yet. He did play a lot off the ball. We'll see what happens if that continues. Kobe is still growing off the ball. He can be effective off the ball, no doubt. But I think at times where we've seen Kobe be the most impactful this season, he's been on ball. But we'll see what happens with that. Good way to settle down and get stops. Good win. See where, yeah, listen, this game, as it got close and the Timberwolves briefly took over the lead, it had the makings of a game where the Bulls just don't get back in it. It would have been another game that we talk about. Oh, here goes the Bulls giving up leads again. They do this, but they didn't allow that to happen in this game, man. And they got to get the credit for that. The Bulls led throughout most of this game. They led the game for 41 minutes and 37 seconds. The Minnesota Timberwolves had the lead for 4 minutes. So, it is. The game was tied 3 times, 7 lead changes in this game. The Bulls had the biggest lead on the night of 16. The Minnesota Timberwolves' biggest lead was only 3. So the Bulls took care of what they needed to do, man. That's the thing in this game. They took care of business, and that's all I've been asking for is take care of the business that's in front of you. When you play well, right? And even with this, the off-ball movement still absolutely sucked at times tonight for the Chicago Bulls, but they were able to execute well enough because they were hitting their threes. You see what solid three-point shooting does for a team, even if you're not running kind of the most efficient offense. Now, they shot the ball efficiently, but what I mean by efficient offense, I mean creating the easier shots for yourself. The Bulls don't always do that, but they shot the ball very effectively tonight. Let's get ready to give those punk-ass Atlanta Hawks a blowout loss tomorrow. Hey, listen, that loss against the Hawks tomorrow becomes really important because, it helps create that little bit more separation. If the Bulls do win that game against the Hawks, if I'm not mistaken, that will put them 2.5 games above the Atlanta Hawks with owning the tiebreaker. That's going to be an important part right now. So, let's hope that can happen. And the Bulls can get that dub against them because that's going to help them try to finish this season strong. Both teams are 5-5 in their last 10 games. So if the Bulls can get that win over the Hawks and then at that point have 6 games left on the season, it's going to be important. And that'll be big night for the Bulls. So let's hope they can get that dub against the Hawks tomorrow. Kobe White joins Zach LaVine as the only Bulls player to make over 200 threes in a season and needs only 5 more for the record. Kobe White is elite. I mean, listen, I won't say that he's elite for the Bulls, but our if you look at our three-point shooting records, it'll tell you that our records aren't elite by any stretch of the imagination for most teams, but not to shit on it. Listen, Kobe's had a great season. Hasn't been as consistent as what he would want it to. I think he'd be the first one to tell you no. That several slumps. If I'm off the top of my head, I'm thinking about 3 probably different stretches of not shooting the ball of 5 games or more where he didn't shoot the ball effectively. I know Kobe's not going to be happy with that. So it's not to crap on Kobe as a player. It's not to crap on the ceiling or anything like that. The season that Kobe White has been tremendous. I love the growth from the young man, but the thing that I really want him to work on this offseason is that consistency piece, because if you can get that consistency piece together for Kobe White and him getting to the free throw line, which I think helps the consistency, at that point you are talking about a player that's going to be a borderline all-star. Consistency, getting to the free throw line when your shot isn't falling so you can help still put points on the board. Those are 2 areas of the game where if Kobe White can shore those 2 things up, we're talking about head and shoulders differences for Kobe White next season, man. So we'll see. We got Ryan in the building. Says, it's so weird that I honestly believe if we can make it through the play-in, we may actually be able to do an upset on some teams. Listen, I mean, I'm glad that you have that faith, and I'm not one to crap on that, bro. To me, you got to still show me, right? That's always, and I think I'm pretty fairly consistent with that. You got to show me. And, the Bulls in the way that they played and executed down the stretch of this, they did show it tonight. But you got to do this night in and night out. And ideally, you don't want to give up leads night in and night out, right? So, let's see how this Bulls team finishes over these now remaining 7 games left on the season. This team is mad, and I don't mean in a good way. They're actually insane. Great win. Let's go Bulls from as a mate. Hey, I think everybody's going to agree with you on that one, bro. Everybody's going to agree with you on that one. Zero says, nice shirt and hat. I appreciate that, brother. The bipolar Bulls do it again. It was a good win. AC stepped up as a 3-and-D player, and Kobe White had a solid night offensively. Yeah, he shot the ball very well tonight. And that's that, especially as a player that's trying to get your rhythm back. This is a great first step into getting that rhythm back. And let's hope that he's going to be able to maintain that over the rest of the 7 games left. We need Kobe White. You need Kobe White if you truly want to do anything as far as in the postseason. I'm talking about playing at all. You need Kobe White to be playing well. And so let's hope this is that first step in him getting back into that player that he was in, halfway through December, January, February for the most part. Like I said, some bad game stretches over those times, but you trust that Kobe's going to pull it together. JK says, not bad. Happy for the win. Doesn't change what needs to be done this offseason. AC was on fire. 100% agree with everything you said there. Every single thing. What a ridiculous team. Beat the Pacers and the Wolves, lose to the Nets and Wizards. Listen, it really does bring together what the season has been. It encapsulates what the season has been for the Chicago Bulls. It's been a really weird season. And, you need some clarity on your roster. You need some clarity as far as development and roles for your players. You need those things to help get us to a point of just being consistent, right? That's the first thing. It's hard to really kind of pinpoint the things when you're so wildly inconsistent. And I don't even mean being consistently good. Be consistently mid, be consistently bad, be consistently good, wherever you fall on that spectrum. But if you do so consistently, it kind of eliminates the questions. The fact that the Bulls have these high highs and terrible lows, when you look at it, it's just like, what is this team? What really is this team? It has the potential to be so much, but it just doesn't do it night in and night out. And because of that, it leaves it in a really bad place, man. Really bad place. But let's hope that it changes. We'll see what happens, man. The fourth quarter was weird as hell. The refs started off calling everything. Then when people was actually getting abused, they swallowed their whistle. Have you ever been swallowed? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, that's just officiating at the NBA level. Unfortunately, the way the NBA, like, it's inconsistent night in and night out. And that's not even with different staff. I'm talking about with the same exact staff. They would just be so wildly inconsistent with how they call games, man. And it definitely impacts things. AC and DeMar's leadership, I'm having so much of a great impact on the young players on this team. I agree with you. Don't dispute that at all. Don't dispute that at all. Peace, Haize. Just stopping by to hit the like button. Hope your weekend is going good. Hey, thank you, Brendan L. Jet. And I got your email. I'm gonna hit you back. I started typing it like 3 times. But just know we with you, brother. That's all I'll say with that one, man. We got Liberation for All says, bro, I never catch you live. Why did your co-host mention roller wheelchair ball in describing how the Bulls can't defend or play pick and roll? Hey, listen, Big Kev, that was such a crazy analogy that Kev made, but he wasn't wrong. What's up, Senor Drip? What's going on, Eli? Glad to have you in the building as always, brother. I know there are 5 Javantes out there every night, but Billy needs to carve out time for Batum. He was doing well, and Billy said, nah, fuck that. I'm going to do my thing. Well, let's be clear. When Batum's minutes started getting cut, he wasn't playing the best. And, he had that initial, I think, first 2 games playing really well. I think he had a down game, went back up. But, overall, to me, it's hard for a player that just joined your roster to be consistent if you're going to be inconsistent with their role. And, I know Javante brings a whole hell of a lot to this team. And right now, that's part of the struggle that the Bulls are in, right? The Bulls have not yet been that team that kind of focuses on development because they're focused on wins. And then thus, they'll play veterans over kind of trying to develop these young guys because they want to get as many wins as possible. And, not to say that you still won't get wins by playing the young guys, but sometimes you have to look at it and say, we ain't got time for this shit. We're trying to win this game. We ain't got time for you to learn on the fly. And that comes by the detriment of your players sometimes. But I think that's why the Bulls went out and got their player development department. And let's see and hope that it continues, man. Kobe still don't look comfortable at times shooting. I think he just needs to get his confidence back. Every shooter gets slumps. Yeah, every shooter gets slumps, but not necessarily as many as Kobe. And Kobe's not a shooter. That's part of the problem. Kobe's not a shooter. Kobe's a scorer. And those are very, 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 very different things, extremely different things. And I think when you start putting somebody in a position where they have to become a shooter, some really great scorers can adapt to be that at times as well, still need their opportunities to score. But Kobe's not a shooter, Kobe's a scorer. And you have to allow him to get in rhythm, and he has to find his rhythm to really get the most benefit out of who and what Kobe White is as a player. And so let's hope that that comes back, because I don't think Billy Donovan's going to hesitate. When Kobe's back on, the ball's in Kobe's hands. You ain't got to worry about that. But he has to get back, and this could be a great first step in that. The particular rotation in the 50-win team that we've missed, they are who we think they are. I mean, listen, the thing is, though, we're missing players too. Like, I think that's what you mean by that. So, I mean, it is what it is when it comes down to that. All I want from our birthday is Chicago Bulls to get the 7th seed and win the playing game against the Atlanta Hawks in a blowout. I mean, listen, you can say that. They're not getting the 7th seed. You ain't got to worry about it. They're not getting the 7th seed. This team is barely going to hold on for the 9th seed. So the 7th seed? No, don't even worry about that, bro. We have a big game tomorrow against the Hawks. I hope the Bulls stay focused. Yeah, because this is a big win, especially for your holding on to the 9th seed. It's a big win for you. So the Bulls definitely need to hold on to that. This does not make up for the losses against easy to beat teams like the Brooklyn Nets and Washington Wizards. The Brooklyn Nets, I won't say, is an easy to win team. Now the Wizards different, but nothing makes up for you. Keep it pushing. Yeah, nothing's going to make up for it. Those losses are on the books. There's nothing that's going to erase it. So you keep it pushing. All the way from Amsterdam, love the show. The Bulls show once again. What are they capable of? Caruso solid as always. A great Drummond and Green should be a Bulls the way they played on this contract. We'll see what happens with Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond, who's played now, I think 5 years in a row on the vet minimum, he may be looking to try to get his payday, and we'll see what happens with that. If maybe the Bulls are the one that can offer that. Sydney says, like you said, Haize, if we had a consistent three-point shooting, I think we honestly would be top 6. What do you think? Also, if we win against the Atlanta Hawks, do we solidify the 9th seed with their schedule? Well, no. So there's not that wouldn't statistically take the Atlanta Hawks out of being the 9th seed, because at that point we'd have like I said, I think it's a 2.5 game advantage with 6 games left to play. So the math right there, if the Bulls lose out, they don't have to necessarily lose out, but there is still a scenario where the Hawks could still take over the 9th seed. But yeah, you just put yourself in a much stronger and better situation if you're able to beat the Hawks tomorrow night. And let's hope that the Bulls can do that. If the Bulls make it to the postseason proper, I'll take it as a win. They can get 2 games and Kobe and Io ball out throughout. I mean, hey, take your wins where you can, bro. I don't personally look at that as a win per se, because I don't think it really changes as much, but we'll see what happens with that. I just think our team struggles against athletic, youthful teams. We always seem relatively competitive against older teams. I don't know if I agree, but I don't have that. Like, I'd have to actually look for that and go look at those teams in those games specifically. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that that's not something that I've necessarily walked away feeling. I know that we definitely teams that are scrappy and refuse to go away, which are some young teams. I don't even know if it's necessarily the most athletic. I just think that it's just young teams that just are too ignorant to know better, too young to know better. The Bulls definitely struggle with those teams that refuse to go away because of our inability to hold on to leads. Leo, bro, what you doing, man? Why are you sitting right under me? Damn dog, bro. You ain't lived until you have a 90-pound dog and a ball on your feet under the desk. Like, why is he there? I have no idea. None. But hey, shout out to Leo. Haize, the refs let Gobert get away with murder under the rim, pushing and shoving everyone in the back and never getting a foul called on him. I don't disagree with that. And the thing that I've said before, I'm all fine with allowing the NBA game to get physical. I actually would prefer refs to let these teams get more physical, but you cannot allow it to be one-sided on the physicality. You can't allow one team to play extremely physical, and when the other team does that on the opposite end, you're calling offensive fouls. Overall, what it comes down to for me, right? I know everybody has their own thing. I'm fine with however you want to call the game. If you want to call every ticky-tack foul, if you don't want to call every ticky-tack foul, I'm fine with it. But be consistent on both sides of the ball, right? I get it. Superstars are going to get calls, things like that, but just be consistent. And this isn't even a Bulls thing. This is just me watching as much basketball as I watch. We'll see, man. Haize, I've been having debates with other Bulls fans. I've come around to liking the Bulls to the draft, Terrence Shannon Jr., but others say the Bulls need size and the draft fit, I think is what you mean there. I say get the talent and get size in free agency. Well, the problem is the Bulls don't have a lot of spending power in free agency. That's one of the big problems here. But I'm not, like, here's the thing. I'm not against you going best talent available because guess what? Terrence Shannon Jr. is a wing. Guess what? Eventually, we're going to need a new wing. I get it. Everybody's like, well, ooh, Patrick. The Bulls have told you Patrick Williams is not going to be a 3 on this team. I need everybody who keeps holding out hope that Patrick Williams is going to get moved back to the 3. Nah, I don't see it. I just don't see. Not under this coach, not with this regime. Those two things are still there. I don't see it. A new coach comes in, maybe that changes. Terrence Shannon Jr. can be a lottery level talent that can fall to you. To me, you take that because he brings scoring, he brings shooting, all those type of things. But there's some really damn good bigs in this draft too, brother. And that's where I think I really hate the Bulls don't have a second round pick in this draft. Don't get me wrong, I love Julian Phillips, but this could be one of those drafts where you get a Terrence Shannon Jr. in the first round. If you pick above like 15, it's a possibility he falls to you. And then there's still some bigs that are a little bit more raw, but still can develop into athletic starters for you. So I would really love, and maybe the Bulls do buy into the second round. There are teams that buy second round picks every single year. Maybe the Bulls do that. Extend the 5 Javontes, but is it true we have to waive a player for Green to be able to play in the play-in? Yes, as long as if Julian Phillips is cleared, then yes, we would have to do that. We'd have to do that. Love to see Javonte Green in the game. Hope they extend this contract. Let's go Bulls. Wasn't pretty tonight, but they got the job done. Well, you don't have to extend Javonte. You just have to give him another contract. He's on a 10-day, but we'll see what happens with that. When do the main problems I saw on this game is the fact that when every time DeRozan had the ball, we just stood around and looked at him. We didn't even try to move. Shay, you've been here for the longest, bro. Like literally, I think you're like subscriber number 5. I've been talking about this, the lack of off-ball movement. I've probably been talking about this. Show's been around almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in August. Probably about 2.5 years of the show being around. Have I talked about the Bulls and the lack of movement off ball? It literally makes everything that you do on the offensive side of the ball, it makes it all harder. Every single bit of it. It just makes it harder for you to operate when you aren't moving without the ball. And the Bulls got to figure that out, bro. They got to. Now, it's probably too late in this season for it to change, but I really would love, and like I said before, I would love to see the Bulls front office. They're locked into Billy Donovan. I get it. They want him to stay here. Go get this man an offensive-minded assistant. Go get him some coordinators. So you don't technically have coordinators in the NBA. One thing Doc Rivers has done really good is he's always had solid assistants around him. Get some better assistants. Mo Cheeks, I get it. Give him a career lifetime achievement award, Chicago Bulls, whatever. Make him an honorary lifetime coach. But we need some better. Chris Fleming's solid. We need, if you're not going to change the head coach, flesh it out with some really high-level assistants. Go and get you one of the better offensive-minded coaches that wants an opportunity in the NBA. Put them as the coordinator, the assistant behind Billy Donovan, right? Do those type of things. Create a succession line. Do something like that. If you're not going to move off your bubblegum chewing coach, start fleshing out assistants that thrive in the areas that he doesn't. Billy Donovan's situation awareness is god-awful and trash. It's god-awful and trash. And so maybe you can do some things like that. We'll see. When you look at some of Billy Donovan's assistants, they've done pretty damn good. Mike Dango's doing pretty damn good in OKC. Now, they have tons of talent, but I love the way his mind is offensively. I love it. Bulls won, and Kobe had a good game. Of course, it's the night I don't tune in. I'm putting together an exercise utility bench, laugh my ass off. This shit hard for my dumbass. Listen, I love putting shit together. That's like one of my specialties. It is what it is, though. Best team could win a lot more convincingly if they just move without the ball. I feel like the defense is pretty good to the point where they force a lot of turnovers. We don't consistently do it, but we'll see. Guys, we're not going to win a chip this year. Who said we're going to win a chip this year? Who in their right mind said the Bulls are going to win a chip this year, bro? You tell me that. Tell me that. Point them out. Point them out. Point them out. Please point them out. Good observation. Say, I appreciate that. Listen, I told you, I live Chicago Bulls basketball. I live it. The spirit of basketball, Jesus, with us on Easter. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Todd 3T says shooting, size and shooting over everything, Tyler. So you like size and to be shot on? I mean, listen, bro, I don't kink shame. I mean, listen, whatever floats your boat, do that, brother. Do that. I mean, you like shooters? Okay. Hey, I'm not judging you, bro. Just clean up afterwards. Clean up afterwards. That's it. That's all that matters. Do any of the coaching staff ever tell Vooch during practice that he needs to draw his defender? You think that is that simple, bro? You got to draw up a scheme. It's not that simple. I get it on this side. We see things. It's not that simple. But I'm sure they don't tell him, hey, bro, suck at pick and roll defense. Didn't get a chance to watch the Bulls play. Just landed in Austin, Texas, but can always get your honest feedback on the Bulls. Keep going. I appreciate that, Eddie. Appreciate that, bro. The Bulls starting lineup is too small. Would you rather AC or Io come off the bench? I mean, listen, with this team right now, with what we have, I'd rather them both be in the starting lineup. Just with what we have, realistically, let's worry about getting some size in the offseason, right? We'll see. Hey, just to clear things up, you would rather take talent over the need for this draft, right? It depends. You can get both, right? It's not one or the other. Both can be true. There's some really damn good talent in it. Now, if you're talking about ceilings, right, would I take the highest potential? It depends on who's there, man. It really depends on who we're talking about. So there's a lot of options and ways to go, bro. A lot of options and ways to go. I feel like the refs let college basketball be way more physical than the NBA. I wish it was pretty consistent, even though the leagues are different. Well, Sydney, I don't know, and I'm not trying to question your basketball acumen or nothing like that. This is a legitimate question. I don't know how much NCAA basketball you watch during the regular season. The NCAA tournament is always more physical. NCAA basketball kind of depends on the teams that you're watching in the conferences. The ACC is always a physical conference, regardless of the talent there. But we'll see. We'll see. Haize, I can see the Bulls making it out the plane if the Bulls matched up against the 76ers and Kobe balled out against Maxey. Could that sway the MVP award? Well, no, the MVP award would be decided by then. So, Haize, I was trying to call in yesterday and today, but it kept hanging up for some odd reason. Did it? I wonder if that's why we didn't get as many voicemails. I mean, somebody. I'll check on that afterwards. Yeah, I don't know what would be causing that. That's must be what it is. All right. I think I just got it. Yeah, I think we just got it. I can see what's wrong. Evan Bulls, did they things tonight? Hey, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Bulls can beat anybody. They can, but the problem is that they can lose to anybody too, right? Haize, would you take the center from Purdue? No, nobody's gonna draft him. You don't draft Zach Edey. Who's acting like he's Microsoft? Are you an idiot? Because nobody's acting like he's Mike. If you don't understand how to talk basketball, that's fine. But don't say stupid shit because you're stupid. Don't try to make other people sound stupid because you are indeed stupid. Like, don't do that. That's just stupid. That's stupid. We sat behind Pat on Wednesday's game against the Pacers on Benny's birthday. He's a cool dude. Just should have gone, Haize. Just should have gone. Just should have gone where? Is it possible to track DeMar's average number of shot attempts in each of the third quarters as opposed to the last? He uses his entire injury to reserve and burns out at the end. DeMar burns out at the end? What are you talking about? DeMar's one of the best fourth quarter players in the NBA. What are you talking about? But spreading my stupid is the best part about being stupid. No, it's not. Being stupid is not good about being stupid. Don't go full idiot. Go meathead. Don't go idiot. Like that's a big difference there. Do you think Javonte took Batum and Javon's spot? Yeah, I mean, basically. Convinced that Alex Caruso has that Kawhi Leonard in the finals effect because the Minnesota Timberwolves. Bro, come on. Kawhi. Shay, you were doing so good, Shay. You were really doing so well, bro. So well. You just got overzealous and excited, bro. Just come on, Shay. What are we doing here, brother? What are we doing here, my guy? What are we doing, bro? Should the Bulls try buy a second round pick? Is that there not enough talent in this draft? I mean, listen, the thing with it is that this is not the draft where it has a bunch of superstar potential, right? But I don't know, man. There could be something said about buying a second round pick in this draft, man. Talking about defense, read the whole damn comment, understand what I'm saying, bro. It still doesn't like it. It doesn't matter, bro. Like your comparisons are terrible, bro. Your comparisons, and I've always told you this, Shay. You make comparisons where they don't need none, and it literally shoots your own opinion in the foot, bro. You got to stop doing that, bro. You got to stop doing it, man. Every single day, Shay does some. Every time, bro. Every single time. I love him. That's my dude. Shay's my little brother. Love him to death. But sometimes Shay be tripping, bro. And mainly just because of comparisons. Shay's like that year that damn, who was it? Shit, Jalen Rose was in the draft and he did all the wild ass comparisons. He's like, oh yeah, he's like a young Chris Paul. It's like, what? What? SGA broke New York heart laughing. Listen, fuck the Knicks. We don't care about the Knicks. Any New York break all their hearts. So F them. How about the center from UConn? I understand why the Bulls struggle offensively, but they should be a consistent top 8 defensive team. Top 8, not with the players that like maybe you could have said that 2 years ago, but I'm just happy they could be top 10 to 12, man. What I mean is in the fourth, it's like every offensive possession is DeMar's clear out. When he starts leaving shorts, he motions to tell Kobe he needs to rest on this one. What? I wish the Bulls signed Derrick Rose again. Why? No, we don't need any vanity signings. They're like, we don't need any vanity signings. We're good on that. We don't need it. You don't need it. Hit the y'all. Hit the goddamn button. Hit the goddamn button. Hit the damn button. Can you explain the low IQ plays we saw this game? Yeah, they were low IQ. That's it. My boy's still a baller, bro. No, come on. No, that's a vanity signing. That's all I can say on that one. Haize, do you think that the Bulls will be able to trade Zach before the trade deadline next year, like after the first 30 games? Bro, I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, there seems to be some confidence that the Bulls can trade him this offseason. I don't necessarily share that. We'll see, man. We'll see. No wonder why we are looking for centers now. Both German and Vooch are terrible. They're not both terrible. They have things. They have things in their game that are tough. Definitely tough. But you're not going to find a perfect center anyway. Haize, if we didn't have a sluggish start at the beginning of the season, where could we have been in the standings? Don't know if you had any stats on it. So let's just say, for example, the Bulls were closer to 500 than going 5-14 to start the season. That would theoretically put the Bulls right now at having about 42 to 43-ish wins. That would technically have the Bulls at the 6th seed. 42 wins would have the Bulls at the 6th seed right now. That's only 6 more games than what we have won right now, right? So the slow start definitely hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. It hurt a whole hell of a lot. Gio says, from your point of view, would you prefer to get the 10th or the 11th pick in the draft, or make the playoffs knowing full well get our asses handed to us, but we get to see Kobe and Io play in the playoffs? It's about talent, because to me, yeah, Kobe and Io can get some playoff experience. That's great, but you still need talent. That's not gonna the playoff experience that they can get by losing a playoff series is not equal to or greater than getting actual talent to this team. So, and those guys are such gym rats anyway. Kobe and I are the two players that I'm not worried about working on their game. I'm not worried about it. So to me, it's about the talent at that point, because that's what we need right now. We need talent. Talent. Shay says, I just believe that Andre needs a good point guard that play makes that could help him get into this offensive game easier. I don't know if you noticed last year, but Dragic definitely, yeah, Dragic definitely helped. And that's why I always say, like, I get it. It's not going to happen. But we saw how dangerous the pick and roll became between Lonzo Ball and Derrick Jones Jr. Imagine replacing that with Andre Drummond. You give Lonzo Ball a lob threat like Andre Drummond with Ball's ability to shoot the three ball. That's a fucking combo, fam. Because what are you gonna do if you go under on the screen? Lonzo can shoot it. If you fight to go over on the screen and Drum gets the right angle, that's a lob to the bucket. That would have been such a beautiful thing to see. The woulda, coulda, shoulda on that would have been beautiful, man. Would have been beautiful. Yo, Haize, I'm going to watch the video you compiled of the Bulls Nation predicting the Bulls record for this year and see who was the closest so far. Hey, I almost forgot I did that video. Almost forgot I did that video. If there are a player available in the offseason or in the draft that can play 4 and 5, plays defense, and can stretch the floor, I mean, yeah, there are some available. That doesn't mean they're going to come here, right? If you can add free agents to play with Io, Caruso, and Kobe, if you can add any what? Buddy can shoot. Yeah, Buddy Hield can shoot. If you're talking about Buddy Hield, that don't mean he's gonna come here. I say we trade Javon and sign Drummond back. Nobody, who's gonna who's gonna take Javon Carter? I love it when people say that, like, oh yeah, let's just trade Javon Carter. Who? To who? Who right now, with how he's performed, is gonna want Javon Carter without you giving up a pick or giving up something that you actually want? Tell me that. Because that team would be a fool. Not you. The team would be a fool. I feel like it's been a blessing that Zach hasn't been playing with us this season. We wanted to see how the team would play without him. I think this team has done a damn good job given the ups and downs. Yeah, I mean, they have an above 500 record since December. So, it is what it is. Now, some of those games were with Zach as well. So let me be clear there. Here's an idea. We can trade Zach to Pittsburgh for a 6th-round pick. Pittsburgh doesn't have a team even better. Sorry, still annoyed. That's hilarious. Package him with Zach. LL, get them both out. That would be almost 50. That would be $50 million in matching. There's not a team that's going to match that. Like if you're going to add a player, unless the team is like giving you up a whole lot, which we don't think that is going to be done for Zach. So I think unfortunately Javon Carter is probably here to stay until he's an expiring contract, and that sucks. But like I've said before, though, we've seen players have bad first seasons with their new team and bounce back in year 2. There's a possibility that Javon could do that. Not saying I'm a whole lot confident on it, but there's definitely a capability of that. I don't see Craig on this team as long as we got Javonte Green. I prefer him 100 times more. No, Craig's going to be on this team because Torrey Craig will be on this team. So they say you don't see it, you see it now. They both have and Torrey Craig is the one with the guaranteed contract. So if you don't see them, then you're probably going to see Craig and not Green if what you're saying comes to fruition. I feel like Zach could play very well with the same because it does fit his game. But the problem is that he just has to do the little things, scratch his play, defense, and hit open shots. I mean, could Zach theoretically fit in? Yeah, I don't think it's about can he fit in with the style. I think it's about does he want to? And do the Bulls see it as a more of a benefit to avoid the headache at this point in time. I'm not saying that they do or don't. I don't know, but we'll see. Do you truly think Acme will not make any adjustments this offseason? I don't know, Sydney. I don't know. They finally got it through their thick skulls. I don't know. I really don't know. Kobe can be trained to execute the exact same play you just. No, he cannot. Because again, it's about the IQ. It's about the skill. Io is a great player. Don't get me wrong, but he's not Lonzo Ball. They don't even have remotely the same way of going about the game. We got to stop thinking that you can just train somebody to be somebody else. You can't. It's not going to happen. That's not the player that Io is. Even when he was in college working with Kofi was a much different type of center than what Andre Drummond is. You're not gonna do that. I know I made the play seem simplistic, but there's a lot of things where it's angles and things like that get involved. How you create that space on pick and roll. Listen, Io's a really damn good on-ball defender and off-ball defender, but Io's not nearly as intelligent in pick and roll offense or defense as what Lonzo Ball is. So no, you can't just train that into them. Some people, even if they try every single day, the most they can score is a C. We got to stop thinking that everybody just with studying more can get an A. Some people are just bound to get C's. That's just it. Some people are bound to get C's. If AK was given the green light from Jerry to go into the luxury tax to keep continuity and competitive together, would we as Bulls fans be angry for no change or happy that they coughed up the money? Well, keep in mind, it can't just be continuity for continuity's sake. It has to be that you wanted to keep this team together. And then on top of that, you've now made moves to kind of strengthen what this core has been missing. If you just go into the luxury tax just to keep the same exact team together, no, I don't care if you spent money or not, because you're not spending it intelligently. You're still doing something stupid. So, yeah, no, you don't get a pass on that one. You don't get a pass on that one. Yes, DeMar DeRozan's contract expires this season, but that's not how it works. It doesn't convert to true salary cap space because we're over the salary cap. We're beneath the luxury tax, but over the salary cap. So DeMar DeRozan's $20+ million. If he walks away, he doesn't turn into $20 million we can sign another player with. That's one of the downsides to the way that the NBA salary cap works. One of the main things I think that Nikola Vucevic and Io should try to do is get themselves going in the offensive end to start around the basket or shooting mid-ranges. I mean, the mid-range is really clogged on this team, though. That's the thing, and I get where you're getting at with that, and that would sound great, but we need spacing. This team, more than anything, really needs spacing. With the way AC is playing right now, I think he's untouchable. I mean, he was damn near that even before this. So, I mean, the Bulls don't want AC to go away. They don't want to trade AC. So, we'll see. Hopefully, the Bulls and Levine can rectify their difference. Low key, we need them. I mean, we'll see. Weirder things have happened, man. Weirder things have happened. There have been players that requested trades before. They end up actually signing extensions with their team and staying around and being happy. The good thing about the Levine part is he's already locked into a contract. So if you do rectify it, you don't have to worry about contract negotiations, right? So we'll see, man. We'll see. I want to say the Bulls have 5 or 6 guys shooting around 40 or more from three. Just need those guys to get 3 more threes by somewhere injured in key moments. No, see, that's the thing. Just because you shoot 40%, the volume plays a part in that. Some people, as they shoot more, the percentage goes down. So no, you need people who can shoot that are proven to shoot high volume, effective 3-point shooting. You don't need somebody to say, oh, well, you shot 40%. So bet since you shot 40%, instead of taking 3 3-pointers, we need you to take 8. It's that usually does not work out in your favor. Usually doesn't work out in your favor. To be honest, I was sad the Zach question trade, but I don't know. I don't think we need him, and I'm okay with him leaving. What about you guys? At this point, I'm just whatever it takes to improve the team. And what you get back for Zach, whether that's get you a little bit more cap space, right, for a team to absorb some of his contract and not have to match all of it, and you can do some more interesting things, I'm down for that. If you can get some depth pieces that can really help this team fill roles that we drastically need, I'm okay with that too. Like, it just what you can get back is going to be the total and where the team is after that too, right? We want to improve. So we'll see. We'll see. But all right, y'all. I appreciate you guys so much, man. I gotta get ready to go do Locked On Bulls. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the season. With 7 games left, it's probably not happening, but hey, it's still the goal. Make sure you follow us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red if you can, y'all. Peace.